Yo, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today's all about how to shoot like a pro, how to never lose a gunfight again. So let's get right into it. But before we do that, my last upload was how to move like a pro. So I highly suggest you watch that. It'll be in the description below. So you can, watch that and watch this video, bring together the best of both worlds, and make yourself just that much of a better player. Because I promise you, there's some really, really good tips in that video. Not the cliche ones that you hear from every other video. But anyways, remember a like rating is always appreciated and subscribe if you aren't already. So let's get right into this first tip. The first tip is it's really cliche, I know, but you have to understand, like it's really important. Finding a sensitivity that works for you. So all the pros play from anywhere from 5 to 6. I personally, my sweet spot is 6.6, 1.2. All right, that's where a lot of pros are sitting at as well. And however, it's personal preference. Okay, so whatever works for you works for you. Like load up a pub, load up private match, mess around with the sensitivities. All right, maybe start off at 4 and just go up by 1, and then find whichever one you feel is the best for you. Just understand though that the lower your sensitivity is, the more consistent your aim will be. The less you'll find yourself in situations where you die because you just didn't hit a single bullet. And then the higher your sensitivity is, the more inconsistent your aim will be. So the more you'll find yourself in situations where you died because you just absolutely potatoed and you didn't hit any bullets. Um, so yeah, sensitivity sweet spot, tip number one. Tip number two is warm up. So just load up a custom game, load up like a pub or something before you get into your game battles or your CDL matches, whatever. Load up a private match. All right, just get the fingers going, get the muscle memory going, get all that stuff going. Make sure your fingers, your hands, your forearms are stretched and warmed up. And make sure you yourself are warm as well, because I promise you, if you're cold and your hands are cold and they're stiff, your gameplay will suffer 100%. I promise you. So make sure you're warm and your hands and arms are nice and stretched and ready to go. So just shoot some bots, maybe like 50, 100 bots. All right. Play some pubs before you do whatever. Okay. Uh, okay. Just like do that. All right. Warm up. Tip number two is centering. So centering is basically, so you see these mid crosshairs right here, the things you use to aim with. So centering is all about just making sure you have your crosshairs aimed on where you think the enemy will be. So suppose I'm running up here, okay? I know the enemy's gonna be either right there in the door waiting for me, so I'm gonna come around the corner and I'm gonna have my crosshairs ready. So that way, when I'm running around, I don't have to like snap onto people or just readjust and like just like fix my aim before I start shooting, because that wastes like a lot of time, and every millisecond in a gunfight is precious. So making sure your centering is always on point, um, wherever you go, making sure your crosshairs are centered on wherever you think the enemies will be, stuff like that. Obviously, you're gonna have to learn. You're gonna have to play the game a little bit. You're gonna need some game knowledge. You're gonna have to play some pubs and stuff so you can find out what people's tendencies are, like where they like to camp, what corners, like what head glitches they like to get on, stuff like that, right? So you're just gonna have to play the game a little bit and understand people's tendencies in order to center properly. Um, so yeah, like a really good example would be, so suppose this hard point's going on, right? And I'm coming around here. Okay, I'm gonna center. If nobody's in that corner, I'm still centering. Nobody's on the stairs. Then I know he's in that corner. So what I'm gonna do is bam. I'm gonna come around the corner quick, and I'm gonna keep my crosshairs centered exactly where he's gonna be. And then so that way, when I come around here, I don't have to like do this. That way I can just come around the corner and go, bam, just like that. So making sure your centering is always on point. And then talking about centering, our next tip is actually knowing where your next interaction is going to be. So to do this, obviously you're going to have to like understand spawns, rotations, cutoffs. Like you just got to understand like spawns like properly a little bit. So suppose I'm playing hardpoint or whatever, my team is spread out on that side of the map and mid map. That means that team is definitely, the enemy team is 100% going to spawn on that side. So just knowing where your next interaction is, so that way you don't get shot in your back or in the side, because that's really frustrating. Um, so yeah, that way you just give yourself more of a chance to win more of your gunfights because you're facing the proper direction where the enemy is spawning and stuff like that. And then my next tip is just simply aiming higher. There's so many situations where I see people just running around like this with their crosshairs on the ground. Like if you're running around and you get caught lacking around a corner or just in general, like you have to snap. You have to snap back up. You have to adjust to where that person is, right? And that's just gonna waste a lot of time. And by the time you snap back up, they're probably just gonna kill you. And another thing is like if you're not aiming high enough, like make sure you aim at chest level right here, like chest level. Always wherever you're going, always aim chest level. Um, so yeah, like just make sure you're aiming higher because chances are you're just gonna shoot them in their toes and it'll take like 5 shots to kill them. Meanwhile, they're gonna shoot you in the head or the chest and kill you in like 2 bullets. So yeah, just aim higher. The next tip is pre-fire and wall banging. So knowing when to pre-fire stuff and knowing when and where or in what situations to wall bang and pre-fire and stuff like that. So for example, this is like a perfect situation right here. So if that hard point's active and I come around the corner and I don't see anyone on the tank itself, I know damn well that there's going to be someone either in this corner right here or this corner right here. Um, so if I don't see anyone on the tank, I'm going to immediately wall bang this and this. And chances are, like 9 out of 10 times, I'm probably gonna get a kill, or I'm probably gonna get some hit markers and make the enemy weak. So then I can just come around the corner and finish them off. Losing Bravo. So just, or like if I light someone up right here and they just make it around the corner and they're like 1 shot, don't stop shooting because they made it around the corner. Keep shooting through the wall. Chances are you'll hit a wall bang and you'll get the kill. So yeah, just learning when and how to pre-fire stuff and wall bang, stuff like that. Another like last example is suppose this hardpoint's active and you can hear someone come around this corner and you can hear them getting closer. And when you think they're like close enough, right, and they're gonna cut the corner, just start pre-firing. Because chances are you're gonna get like the first couple bullets in or just kill them way before they even like react to you. So yeah, pre-fire and wall bangs, just knowing when and how to do it. Alright, so for our second last tip I have is learning recoil patterns for the guns you use. So for me, I use the AK-74U a lot. So I want to learn this gun's recoil pattern, and to do that, just line up behind like a wall far away and just shoot. And don't hold on your joystick, just let yourself shoot. Okay, so for me, it went up and then it curved to the right a little bit. So now that you know your recoil pattern, in order to fix it, all you gotta do is just, so if it goes up and to the right, all you gotta do is hold down on your joystick and then to the left slightly while you're shooting. So that way, instead of going up like this, when you're shooting, it'll look like this. Bam. There you go. All of my bullets stayed right here in this general area. They did not shoot up and go like that. So yeah. And if it goes up and to the left, then just hold down and to the right when you're shooting. Or if it like just goes straight up, then just hold slightly down on your joystick. It's simple as that. Learn the recoil patterns for your guns. It'll make a world of a difference. And then lastly, the last tip I have for you guys, this is like a bonus one, is Dead Zone. So Dead Zone they introduced last year with Modern Warfare. Alright, so this depends on how and what condition your controller's in. So personally, my left joystick is pretty good. It's like mid condition, so I have it at 0. And then my right joystick, however, is kind of messed up. So I have my Dead Zone a little bit buffed up for it, right? So in order to find a perfect Dead Zone for you, just knock it down to 0, okay? And as you can see, my controller is moving on its own, okay? So then just go to settings. Knock it up a couple times. I'm still moving. Okay, no worries. I'll go up a couple more times. I'm still going. Right? I'll knock it up one more time. Now I'm going the other way. Oh, there we go. Perfect. It stopped. So that's how I know that's how you find out what dead zone is perfect for your controller and your joysticks. Just like knock them up and down until like your controller stops moving on its own. But yeah, that's it for today's video and all the tips I have for you guys. Remember to watch the How to Move Like a Pro video as well. Put the best of those both worlds to, like, Oh my god, I can't talk today. Just watch both of those videos, okay? Um, and you'll just get that much of a better player. Remember to like and subscribe if you aren't already. Keep up to date with all my new videos that I'll be putting out over the next couple days. Turn on the bell notifications, all right? And other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.